Good afternoon. This is Professor Jerzy Toman, and my name is Philip Jimenez. We're both faculty at Santa Clara University Law School. And we've come to talk to you about this wonderful program that we've put together in Vienna, Austria, primarily dealing with the law of the European Union. So, Professor Toman, could you tell us something about this wonderful curriculum that we have in place at the University of Vienna?
As you have realized from the description of the program is during 3 weeks. 2 first weeks are consecrated practically to the European law. And European law was there practically from 1907 to 2007 until now. And in the very beginning, the European Union law was something with a great perspective and great evolution. But as you realized during the last months, we have a little problems with the evolution of the European Union law. So it is probably one reason more to learn more about it. European Union law will be presented to you by the professors of the law faculty of Vienna. And it will be, in fact, happening also in the places of the Vienna Law School, which is one of the most modern law schools in Europe. It was constructed, I think, on the example of the law school which we have here in Santa Clara. But it is something which is usually happening on the 4th floor, on the room number 4, and you have professors from the law school of Vienna presenting different parts. The most important man who is running this program is Siegfried Fiener, who is teaching European Union law in the law school of Vienna. But he also associated to this program some other professors who are dealing with different aspects of the European Union law. Among them will be also one of the professors who is dealing with the European Union Court, which is presenting the different cases of the European Court. Then he is associated other professors from the law school coming and joining his program. So that's something which is most important, and I will say the most important part of the whole program. This was during the 2 weeks. After these 2 weeks, we have the 3rd week, which is much more consecrated, I think, to the Vienna aspect. It is consecrated, first of all, to the Austrian law. You will have one professor of the law school of Professor Rahm from Vienna, who will be presenting Austrian law in toto, as much as possible that you have some information about the law in Austria. Then there will be one day consecrated to the military aspect, because we will be mostly being in the building of the Austrian Military Academy, and 2 of the leaders of this military academy will be presenting to you the work the military academy is doing. And probably the most attractive is the 3rd day, which is Thursday, and where we are making visit to the military academy in Wiener Neustadt, which is about 30 or 40 kilometers from Vienna. And it was the academy which was created in the 17th century. So you will enjoy being in the Maria Theresia building with all the history which the military will presenting to you. You will also visit different places where the military training is taking place. And then will be coming the Friday, which usually is the end of the week, This time it will be the end of the whole 3 weeks program, and you will have exam where you will be able to demonstrate what you have learned during these 3 weeks. This will be the end of the operation, and then the Professor Jimenez, who is in charge of this program, will give the grades, and as I know him, he will give very good grades. So you have not to have troubles with the final day of the academy. So that's something I wanted to describe about the program.
Thank you very much, Professor Thoman. I might just add that it's going to be a very interesting year, as Professor Thoman spoke of it a little bit earlier. That is, there's a lot developing in Europe now, and more particularly with respect to the exit of the UK from that organization. And as you can imagine, there'll be some interesting consequences that will flow from Brexit. And we'll have a number of experts that can talk a little bit about that to us and talk about these consequences and how important it is to outside investors, and more particularly to investors from the United States. One thing I wanted to say was that at the end of the academic part of the program, of course, there'll be an opportunity for what we call externships. This will be 4 weeks of externship at law firms in Vienna, as well as law firms that have been accepting our students for the last few years in Budapest. These are law firms who deal principally with international matters, international commerce, etc. And I would expect that a number of you would find that very, very interesting experience for you. We're working on putting those together at this point. So this year, in addition to the academic curriculum and to the internships, we'll be providing some kind of social interaction between our students and lawyers who are practicing in Vienna, and more particularly lawyers that are practicing on the international stage, if you will. And then, of course, there'll be an opportunity to mix socially with students from the University of Vienna, so that you'll have an opportunity to exchange ideas and observations on what's going on in the world today. I think it provides you a very interesting opportunity to talk about these things with people who are directly living the consequences of Brexit. One question of importance to students, of course, is the kind of housing that's been provided in this case. And Professor Thoman, with many years of experience with the program, would like to tell you a little bit about that.
We have been very lucky to have the accommodation in the building of the military academy in Stiftgasse in Vienna. And it is a beautiful building, a historical building in Vienna, but you have also very good facilities that one of the part of the building is consecrated to the accommodation. And this accommodation is providing in the single rooms, well equipped, as they are equipped for the soldiers of the academy themselves. And then you have also possibility to use the cafeteria, which is on the ground floor of the academy, where you can have the simple meal. You can start with the breakfast, it can continue with the lunch and with the dinner, and it is very inexpensive, you know, because you are living in the building of the military academy, and the military academy is not providing soldiers with much money, so they have the meals which are probably half or even a third of the price which you will find outside that building. Oh, that's very, very useful thing. If you have some invitees, you can also go to the officers' mess, where you can have a little bit more sophisticated choice of the meat, and this is also something which is very convenient. The advantage of this military academy is that it is in the very middle of Vienna. It is close to the shopping center, it is close to the museums, which are also just behind there. So that's something which is very close also to the main street, main shopping street, which is Maria Hilfestraße, very close to this place. So as far as concerns the academy military facilities, I will very much recommend it to you, and it is one of the highlights of our program.
In addition, of course, to the wonderful meals that you can have at the military academy, of course, Vienna is known for wonderful restaurants, wonderful Wiener Schnitzel, but you do have to watch it because, of course, it's easy to overindulge. The other thing that's very nice about Vienna, of course, is its location. From Vienna, it's very easy to travel to any number of wonderful European capitals. Not very far to Prague, I understand, if you wanted to visit Czech Republic or other wonderful cities like Munich. Let's talk just a little bit, Professor Toman, about the class schedule so that the students will have an idea of what their commitment time-wise would be on a daily basis.
So the program is usually organized in the way that we are starting about 9 o'clock in the morning, and it is going till 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then you have usually time also to not only to study, because this is one of the first objectives which we have, but you have also the possibility to visit Vienna. And I think it is something which is very important. What are the visits which we have in Vienna? So one of the places where you will go will be the Supreme Court of Vienna. So you will have occasion to visit the parliament. You will have also occasion to meet one of the judges of the Supreme Court who is doing these presentations about the judicial system in Austria for many years for us. Then you will be, and I think it is something important to underline, you will be in the most attractive European town which we have. Vienna is the most attractive historical place, and it is a place where you will have occasion to visit famous Hofburg, which was headquarters of the leaders of the emperor of Austria. And if you are very lucky, you can eventually also have occasion to meet somebody from the imperial family who is there in Austria. And it is mostly Karl von Habsburg, who visited several times our law school here in Santa Clara, and who will be delighted to take you to one of the coffee places of Vienna, where you can talk with him about the present situation and about the past situation, about the work he is accomplishing, for example, for the protection of cultural property, which is his present role. You will probably have also occasion, if it is happening in Vienna, you meet his brother, Georg von Habsburg, who is a very attractive personality because he is, you know, the Austro-Hungarian Empire was composed of all parts, two parts, one part which was starting in 1867, and it was the Austrian part, and the second part was the Hungary. And these two parties were put together, and one of the brothers of Karl von Habsburg, Georg von Habsburg, is now living in Budapest. And it is quite interesting that this man, who practically lost his career in the imperial position, he established himself in Hungary. He has also as wife one of the Hungarian aristocrats, and is living there. And during 10 years, he was president of the Hungarian Red Cross. and he is now advisor to the Hungarian government. He is probably even involved very much in what is going on in Hungary now, because as you know, Hungarian government is making some new orientations. So that will be also quite interesting for you to meet these people who represent the history of the Austria. But they also, it is quite interesting to mention also that one of the candidates for the president of Austria recently was somebody who was part of the Austrian aristocratic order, and he was not elected, but he still played a very important role in Austrian politics.
Thank you very much, Professor Thoman. That's all very enlightening, and it shows what a wonderful, unique project we have going in Vienna. So Professor Thoman and I will both be in Vienna this coming summer, and we very much look forward to meeting you there. I think we'll all have a wonderful time.